I was not loved as a child. All right, let's get started.
I'm ready.
So I've been reading this book. Okay, so it's called Obviously Awesome.
Okay, obviously.
Obviously. By April Dunford. She is metaphorically awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Or coincidentally awesome. Maybe even slightly under the radar awesome.
She's an indie.
She's an
indie writer.
Basically, I'm a hipster. I got this book thrown at me because I was talking to my old boss, Gavin, at CloudSpot, and he was saying how he was reading this book, and I was kind of describing our troubles, our woes, and he was like, you should read this book. So here we are. It talks about product positioning and like why that's important and what it is, and kind of defines all that stuff. Positioning is important because when people think about the market that you're in, they automatically put you in one hole. If you think about a cake pop, it's like cake on a stick, and so you would put that in the cake market category, but in reality it should be marketed to or towards like consumers who are on the go and like need something sweet in the morning to like get them started and whatever. They even have this like little illustration in the book. Cake on a stick versus cake pop. If I say like, oh yeah, I'm an accountant, what's your reaction?
Disgusting! You do taxes.
Yeah, we do taxes, which is part of the problem. In my opinion, there's probably some other market where we fit, where the connection between, yeah, we're an accountant, but we don't do taxes makes sense and emphasizes our strengths. We talk about this all the time, that like we're a bookkeeping company, but we don't just do bookkeeping. Talking to new clients, it's like, how do you get people to, to jive and understand that like right away? It's kind of the goal. She has like a 10-step thing where she like goes through like, okay, how do you break down all of the ways that you think about positioning and all that kind of stuff. But these are the 4 main questions that the book poses, and then we can kind of break them down from there. So these are the basic questions. Who loves us? What are the alternatives? What are our unique features? And what market emphasizes our strengths? So there's kind of some steps that go along here. We're not going to do this perfectly because we're not perfect.
But you do have an MBA, right?
Fair enough. The book says to start with who loves us. It starts off with like, okay, who are our best customers? And then what qualities can we glean from those customers? Quick, name your top 3 favorite customers on camera.
My parents' company loves this.
Oh, that's true. We could say Austin's parents. Who loves us? Austin's parents. Who else loves us?
All of our clients love us.
Yeah, but who are the people that like if we didn't exist, they would be lost in the world?
Redacted. Feel free to use redacted. I just said redacted for you so you can put that in there.
I guess we could call this Mortgage Broker 1. There's another loan officer that loves us.
So the people that love us the most are mortgage brokers.
Yeah, so what do all 3 of these people have in common? They're all mortgage industry.
I feel like photographer 1 really likes us. I feel like all of our clients love us. I know that sounds kind of weird and maybe conceited, but like all of our clients love us. We walk out of meetings, 90% of the time, we're like, wow, love how much value we just gave them. We need to continue doing this. And it's like that feeling that we have walking out of meetings, and it's the meetings that really get it.
You're not wrong. What do they love about us?
I think that they love how they don't have to worry about this. They don't have to worry about anything financial. They literally show up and get told what's going on, why, what it means to their company, and what they have to do about it. I think they love not having to think about it.
I feel like that's not like the deep reason why,
Okay, I'll try this. They love not feeling alone in their company.
So they love the feeling?
I would say maybe. I don't know. What do you think?
It seems like they love the amount of like insight and information that they receive. So the knowledge.
That goes back to what I was saying. They don't have to worry about anything. And that's a huge weight lifted off of their shoulders. It gives them confidence. It gives them understanding on what to do for the future.
Confidence and understanding from the insights that they receive.
Mm-hmm.
right? And then I guess obviously they also get a task done. A complicated, like bookkeeping is complicated and something that they don't want to worry about.
I would argue that most people don't even know how to do it.
Okay, so what are the alternatives to working with us?
Not working with us.
If someone was like, you know what, I'm done working with Amarlo.
They either have to do it themselves or go hire a different bookkeeper.
See, that's interesting. If they were to hire a different bookkeeper, they don't get the same level of service.
There's a 95% chance that they're not getting the same level of service.
Right. So they could DIY, they could find another bookkeeper. So they could actually just not do it.
Yeah, not doing it and just paying a CPA to do their books for tax time. When we say bookkeeper, I think that we should define that. Someone that categorizes transactions so that come tax time, they're able to file. That's what a bookkeeper is.
DIY, find another bookkeeper. They could not do it. Find another solely transactional bookkeeper. Now, this is an interesting one. We can talk about unique features of our service. So features, like capabilities we have that the alternatives do not. Features are different from a value. So like a feature would be like, we get the books done every week. You know, I think that's a feature.
I would say that we close the month no more than 15 days after the month ends. I would say that.
Okay. We'll just say books reconciled every month. We pay for a QuickBooks subscription. That's a feature.
I don't think that's unique.
Yeah, it's not unique. But let's start with just like all of our features, right? And then we can kind of like narrow down like, okay, what's unique about these? Monthly or quarterly meetings. What else?
Custom tailored financial statements, chart of accounts.
Books reconciled every month, QuickBooks subscription, monthly or quarterly meetings. You said custom chart of accounts, deep analysis, like sales analysis, all that kind of stuff.
Sales analysis, budgeting and forecast.
Which of these features are unique?
Monthly or quarterly meetings. Books reconciled every month.
Okay. Custom chart of accounts.
Pretty much everything else, except for the QuickBooks subscription. I think that you can reconcile them every month at the end of the month, but like by the 30th, is that information useful? Is the business owner going to be able to make decisions based upon that?
Yeah.
Right? So I think it's making that distinction timely is important, because if it's not timely, it's not useful.
Timely reconciled books. So then what is the value that people get from that?
They get the ability to make informed financial decisions, confidence in how they're running their business,
Yeah.
understanding what tomorrow looks like. I don't know how we want to say that, but
They have a deeper understanding of what's happening inside of the business in order to make a decision off of that. And
Mhm.
then they feel confident because of that.
they have a partner that has a vested interest in the business succeeding. Is there value in not having to worry about anything financial? Because I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this. A complicated task is done for them. There's value in that.
And knowing that it's done right.
They're able to work on their business rather than in their business. Knowing that it's done right, I think should be included too. How many times have we gotten and seen books that have just been wrong?
This value section here, this is like, why should I care? Oh, you know, I'm on the fence about signing with Amarlo. Why do I care about, you know, what you guys are doing? All of this value really comes from the monthly and quarterly meetings and the insights that we as advisors are able to draw from those. Really what drives the value from these features is us. Bookkeeping is a product, right? Like we sell bookkeeping as a product, but we also sell advisory layered on top of that bookkeeping. But it's more than just like accounting advisory or like tax planning. It's like making conclusions about what's happening inside of the business according to the financials. And that is what drives the most value for people. What market emphasizes our strengths?
I feel like the traditional sense of market might not like align with the market that emphasizes our strengths. Like when I think about that, I'm like solopreneurs.
You're thinking of like demographic.
I would say I like demographic better because like when I hear market, I'm thinking about like industry.
That's kind of what it's getting at.
And I don't like industry because like service industry,
Okay.
that's our market. But then within that market, there's demographics that I think better clearly define and emphasize our strengths.
Market in this context is referring to the category that your customer puts you into.
Oh.
So you're thinking of like, okay,
Targeting someone else.
Yes, the target market. You're thinking of target market as like, who are our customers? This is how our customers view us.
Okay, I love this question then.
Financial services, it seems like, is the overarching market.
Within financial, there's accounting. Within accounting, there's
Right.
tax, bookkeeping, financial CFA staff. We shouldn't put financial services. I think that we should define like 2, maybe 3
Okay.
markets.
I think we could nail 2. So I think for most people, they would see us as bookkeepers. So bookkeepers, right, are transactional. We reconcile the books and then we give you the information. That's all that it is. Business owner thinks bookkeeper, basically, this is a necessary evil. It's like an accountant. Like I hire an accountant to get my books done, to get my taxes done, whatever. I hire a bookkeeper to get my books done because I have to. What we're saying is that no, it's not just bookkeeping. It's actually also coaching.
But why do we hate this word coaching?
Because I feel like most business coaches suck. But maybe that's an opportunity. Like maybe that's like
hold
a
on.
good
It's
thing.
funny. Did we not just say the same thing about bookkeepers?
That's true. Most bookkeepers suck. This is really a flammable language that we're using here. Inflammatory. That's what it is. Not flammable. The language can't catch on fire. But yeah, bookkeepers suck.
I don't think there's a negative connotation with bookkeeping. Yes, it's a necessary evil. With bookkeepers, the stakes are lower. Cost is lower. And at the end of the day, the CPA is going to look at it and sign off on it and make the changes that they need to do. Whatever. Business coaches are higher risk because you pay them a lot. They advise on guiding the entire direction of your company. There's a negative connotation because they don't guarantee that they're going to be able to be helpful. If you're playing a sport and like you have a coach and your coach gives you direction, you do that direction, that could be the wrong direction. That's high stakes. And you're paying for it.
So what's interesting is that if someone says, okay, you're a bookkeeper, immediately in their mind, what price point are they thinking?
$100 a month.
$100 a month. I'm going to talk to you every 6 months. That's our relationship.
Not even that. They don't even talk to them.
Right. Okay. They might not even see them. Right. So $100 a month. So already by framing us as bookkeepers, what we're saying is that like
We're cheap and we suck.
Yeah. What we have to battle against is exactly that. Like we're cheap and we suck, you know, for a business coach, what we're saying is we're expensive. You're uncertain as to whether or not you will get results. You're basically a snake oil salesman.
Is there a different word for it?
So that's the thing is like, well, consultant,
Advisor.
advisor. So, but when you think of consultant, what do you think of?
Someone that's on contract getting paid 1099 working on his own.
What I think of is Deloitte. I'm hiring a consultant to come in and fix this specific area in my large enterprise company. If we were to make this a Venn diagram.
Bookkeepers, business coach, consultant, and advisor. We're in the middle of that.
So basically these 3 categories. Business coaches, bookkeepers, and consultants / advisors. I feel like those are the 3 markets that capture the strengths, right?
I would say that the difference between business coaches and consultants and advisors is generally consultants and advisors know exactly what they're doing. They're being hired for a very specific reason to get one task done. Versus business coaches are very versatile, master of none, but we're all of these.
Yeah. So far, I mean, we've only been targeting the bookkeepers. The bookkeeper market is fine, but most of the business is driven by referrals and CPAs who know that we offer a high value service. If someone's looking for a business coach or a consultant and advisor, that's like a completely different way of marketing.
What does that mean for you as the marketer?
It means that like we have to reevaluate how we approach these two markets. I have a hunch. I don't know if this is going to work, but if we were to position ourselves as these two things through like ads, through social media, I think it's going to be a lot more effective than just this.
I agree. And I think that our conversion rate when we're talking to someone is going to increase. We're meeting with people as bookkeepers and they're like, oh, I need a bookkeeper. We're like, yes, we do this and this and this and this. And we're selling on the moon.
I need a bookkeeper.
And they're like, this is overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
And like we're trying to sell them on something that they didn't know that
they needed.
Is this a light bulb moment for you?
A little. I kind of didn't want this.
Because you have to do a lot more work. You have to revamp what you had already kind of made.
Yeah. It's hard.
Mm.
It's like, oh, it's wrong. It's not effective. But like we already knew it wasn't effective. I didn't want this because I didn't want to be a business coach. That's why.
We're not going to be business coaches, though.
Yeah, we're going to be a Marlowe. Effectively, what we could market as is financially informed business coach.
I want to talk more about why we're not business coaches, though. I have a hard time using that word.
I do too.
We are not bookkeepers because we do so much more. We're not business coaches.
Is your hand is raised in Zoom?
Finally, because we have a greater understanding of everything. We have so much more control over the processes, systems, and procedures. Like a business coach says, hey, do this in your business to make it more efficient, to make it better, to grow sales more. We are like the gatekeepers of their transactions. We're the ones doing that. We have a greater understanding of their processes and systems and procedures because we're the ones doing it.
But doesn't that make us way more effective as coaches?
Yes.
It makes us way like
that's why we're not coaches. We're not consultants and advisors because we're not one and done. We don't come in to do a one-time project where we clean up your books, get some systems going, and then off you go. But we are highly specialized. We need a new name for it. We can't use anything that we see here. I don't want to use bookkeepers. I don't want to use business coaches. I mean, we can use it kind of in like our tertiary what we do, but like what's going to pull them in is not these words.
I disagree. Because what other word encapsulates all three of these things?
So I looked up synonyms for coach earlier. Mentor, teacher, trainer, educator, skipper, tutor, drill instructor, physical education instructor.
Okay, so we are
Physical
business skippers.
Yes.
You are correct in that we might not be all of these things perfectly. However, in order to make some kind of innovation or some kind of change or make something different, we have to be able to connect it to what people already know. So by creating a new word for ourselves or a new category for ourselves, I think it would actually work to our detriment in that we would have to educate everybody that comes across us as to why we're not X, Y, or Z. With this, if someone's like, oh, a business coach that handles my bookkeeping and gives me financial information, that's way more accessible because they already know what a business coach is. They already know what a bookkeeper is, and they already know what a consultant is. If we just say the entry point is this thing, and then here's why we go above and beyond that, it makes it, I think, a lot more effective of a marketing strategy.
I feel like we could be in a place where we can educate once we are at a point where it's like we're chilling.
Yeah, we just need more cash.
Yes.
We need more clients.
Yes. What about this, though? Pulling people in with these words and then educating. People are searching for business coaches. They click on our ad that's like, the best business coaching vibes, straight up, no cap, for real, for real. And then it goes into everything else. Like, hey, business coaching starts off with bookkeeping.
So what I realized in going through this exercise and reading this book and talking with you is that bookkeeping is not actually in the sense that it's the market. Yes, it's the market in the sense that that's what people associate us with. But bookkeeping is actually the product when combined with advising. So our steps of working with people, we do their books and then we advise and then they see the value.
I would even go this far. First, we are consultant. We clean up their books. We do that one-time project to get them to where they need to be at so that we can bookkeep. And then we bookkeep. And then so on and so forth, as you were saying.
And then we coach.
Coach advise. I don't like coach. I like advise better.
When you tell people what we do, what do you tell them that we do? What's your line? How do you say what Amarlo does?
I tell people that we're an accounting firm.
What we do is we help businesses understand their financial story. How do we do that? Bookkeeping, advising, coaching, CFO services, QuickBooks, all of these attributes, all of these products that we use to then build up in their minds. Like, okay, yeah, this is what we do. This changes things, I think, of how we approach sourcing new customers or how we can approach getting new customers.
So have we gotten to the point where the current marketing isn't working?
Digital marketing, PPC, for bookkeeping, I think is not working because there's a big hurdle to jump over. We're having to explain so much about what's happening, what's different in our business, all that kind of stuff. What this could allow us to do is someone searching for a business coach or a consultant or whatever, I don't know. That's much closer to the advisory portion of what we do. Then we just have to sell them on bookkeeping. And then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, well, I need a coach. I'll take a bookkeeper, whatever. These two are much easier entry points for some kind of digital marketing, whereas the bookkeeper side of things is a much easier entry point for referral-based marketing. So our CPAs, our partners, the people who know us, they can refer to us as bookkeepers, whereas we can refer to ourselves as coaches, advisors, and consultants, that kind of thing. That's my thought.
I love it. What a great NGMI.
Sometimes I'll just get really long emails from people. It makes me feel anxious for a long time.